Yo, hey everybody. Waiting for my machine here to update, so I think I'm going to do a little rambling about my Berklee experience. I think I'll name this video, Is Berklee Worth It? Or Was Berklee Worth It? So a little background information about my Berklee experience. I graduated in 2011, 2012, right around there. And I did not have any formal music training before going to Berklee, so I wasn't like a jazz band kid going to Berklee. I knew very little. I knew nothing about theory or anything, so that maybe will inform you about how I will describe my experience and being 12 years out now, or 10 years out. So I'm going to break it down. Is Berklee worth it? Into kind of four main ideas: experience, knowledge, connections, and opportunities. So first and foremost, experience, because there's no guarantee that we're going to live another day. So as much as we like to see college as a stepping stone to the next place, it has to be a destination as well. So for me, the experience of moving to Boston and being away from Hawaii where I grew up and taking care of myself and all of this and that, and then going to music school as well, was huge for me, and it was transformative in so many ways. So I could never really look at my life without having that experience. I actually lived in Boston for a year before I started Berklee when I was 18. And that year I probably grew just as much as the 4 years in Berklee, in different ways, because the first year you move out of your parents' house or you move out on somewhere on your own, you grow a lot no matter what. So for me, the Berklee experience was okay. I really enjoyed certain aspects of it, and I really absolutely hated other aspects of it. Mainly because I had no prior training, and Berklee is full of a bunch of kids who are really good and know a lot, and there's a lot of ego involved, and a lot of the teachers as well don't really have patience for people who don't know much, because they want to start, where everybody else is at, and they don't have time for the slackers. So for me, that was, especially in the beginning, that was really rough, but I really worked hard to get through all that because I was really passionate about music, and I never really had an intention to make a career with music. I just saw college as an opportunity to study something that I wanted to do. And so, I spent a bunch of money and time and energy studying this thing that I'm still pretty into, which is, what I wanted for my college experience. And a lot of people go into it with different intentions. To wrap up the whole experience thing in a nutshell, I lived away from campus. A lot of the people there can afford to live on campus, which is a totally different price point and price range, and it's a different lifestyle. I had to work in the restaurant industry, and I didn't spend nearly as much time on campus as I would have liked to had I had the support and funds that I could have just lived on campus and, been in the scene and met all these great people. So I honestly barely have any friends. I can't think of one person in particular that I didn't know before Berklee that since Berklee, other than maybe some of my teachers, which sucks, but, that was my experience. And if you went to Berklee, or if you're about to go to Berklee, hopefully you'll have a totally different experience than that. But yeah, it's just, if you don't have the opportunity to live right there on campus and hang in all those jams and not have to work and do all these things, it's going to be different. So the next thing I want to talk about is the knowledge that I acquired while going to Berklee. And when I finished school, I'd say the first and foremost thing that was in my head was, wow, now I can learn. Because, like I said before, I knew no theory, and I didn't really know anything about guitar technique or music production or anything about music, and let alone being a professional musician and professionalism. So for me, graduation day was kind of day one of now I can learn. because I spent a bunch of time learning the lingo and learning basic skills and getting to the point where now I could watch a relatively advanced YouTube video or open up a book or look at a real book chart and actually learn and practice instead of just be totally dumbfounded. So for a lot of people, they think, okay, the day they finish school is the day they're going to land that amazing job or get that amazing gig or whatever. For me, it was not that way. It was kind of the beginning of the grind. And I played for, a while before I got to a point where I felt even remotely comfortable with what I was able to take from that experience. And I'm still taking so much from that experience. So the knowledge is something that should always be at the forefront of any college or learning experience, what you're gaining. And those skills, for me, the biggest ones were being able to teach myself. And so maybe some of you will learn amazing ability in this and that, and some of you might not even learn how to teach yourselves. But for me, that's the biggest thing that I took, is now I can practice on my own and really move forward as a musician. And the professional aspects as well. Like, I started my website and I started teaching private lessons in college, which I don't know if I would have started doing that had I not been encouraged to do that in college. So the next thing, this is kind of branching out to post-college and moving into like opportunities in practical life, which is like the connections and your networking. So like I mentioned before, I didn't really make a great network or connections from Berklee. That being said, the Berklee name has already presented many opportunities to me, both professional opportunities and networking opportunities. So just, doing volunteer work and stuff with the Alumni Association the few years after I graduated helped me get in touch with Oakland School of the Arts, and then I eventually ended up working with Oakland School for the Arts, and all the faculty in the instrumental music department are from Berklee. So even though I didn't know them, we had this underlying connection. And there's a whole bunch of resources for alumni, and just having it on your name. I'll have clients these days. I play a lot of weddings, and I'll have clients tell me, "Oh, I saw you went to school in California," because they think it's Berklee, California. Either way, it's flattering, and you say, "Yeah, blah blah blah," because it's appealing to them, and that name and all of the above of that prestige and having that on your website definitely bodes well for you. I'm sure there are haters, and I'm sure there are people in the community that see that on your name and like, I don't want this Berklee cat. But that's probably 1 out of 10, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to have a positive response from that, having that on your resume. And finally, the opportunities. So the opportunities, kind of like I was talking about, I got a job at OSA, got lots of other gigs and stuff just because of that name, Berklee. But also, for me, the biggest thing was the opportunity to take music seriously, because there's so much in this world that is going against you to pursue music as a profession and as a career, and just being an artist in general. It's like, you're not that, oh, you blah blah blah. It's just, life is full of haters out there. And leaving with that Berklee degree was like this, boost, just being like, no, go in that direction. Go prove yourself. Prove you didn't just waste your time and a bunch of money learning this stuff. And now, hold your head high when you walk into a room and say, yeah, I'm a Berklee cat and I can play over some changes and I can do some stuff, and and feel good about yourself. And that's what it helped give me. And now here I am. I'm almost 35. And I'm still a shit player in my own standards. But for a lot of other people, they think I'm great because I have that confidence and I've taken the skill and the knowledge to learn. And so every day I'm learning new things. And I've taken that from the day that I graduated till now. And now I have this confidence and this ability to sell myself and market myself and tell people, yeah, This is the service that I am. That's all music related. My income these days is entirely music related, whether it be teaching or performance or streaming revenue. And I'm going to do a video about all of that as well. But I hope this wraps up for all of you guys who are still with me 10 minutes in. Is Berklee worth it? Here I am 12 years out. I'm my own boss. I'm definitely not thriving with financial success. I have friends that are, but in the music thing. But I have this experience of life as a musician. And that's the real question that we want to ask ourselves, COVID was full of those questions for me, asking myself, is this what I'm supposed to be? But here I am, 2023, still doing it. All right, love you guys.